Was that always there? He's telling me that that's the fix.
If the 24-second clock doesn't come into
when you're going through the motion offense here after you equip that setting, if you don't select the 2K Smart Play after 5 seconds, it goes away and you won't be able to select it. That's by design though. It's only a small pop-up to just randomly select a play for a given player, and that player is usually at random, pending what your overall is. I'm not sure if it works like 2K25. It depends on what your overall is. That will decide on whether or not how often it is they pick you versus the computers. But it also depends on like what type of computers do you have on your teams. Like if you have someone that is usually a very like a high touch player, meaning, you know, an Austin Reeves, LeBron James, Luka Doncic, is going to select them more often than not than probably you, even though you may be the higher overall player on the team. That's the only downside to that, but that's usually how the play functions typically go anyways. But to be able to simply just have a play come up in general by having that function turned on is massive. Now, if you don't select the play, which is what I'm testing right here, I'm showcasing that you see that the little motion thing coming up at top here. Despite it saying motion off instead, you can clearly see my teammates just kind of just standing there. The reason for this is because each time when that motion offense starts up, whether you be off ball or on ball, the game is waiting for you to get to a designated spot. The only problem is it doesn't tell you where that spot is. The reason for that is because that spot can change depending on where it is that you're standing in relation to where they're standing. Usually the idea would be you would stand in the open space, meaning in this case this would be at the top of the key where I'm going to end up motioning here. And then as you can see, that's when the play starts. This is what initiates the motion offense. If you're off ball, sometimes when you have the computers bringing the ball down the court, if you ever noticed, if you ever go to like the corner or the wing and there's like one other person flowing to either the corner or the wing, usually the computer is flowing to the corner. This is specific for like, I think if you're a perimeter player, I don't know about big men or whatever. If you see two going to one side, that means that the motion offense wants you somewhere on the left. If you see one going to one side, that means you're in the right general lane, meaning if you're going to the right and there's only one computer flowing to the right, you're in the general lane at that point. Then you have to pick between being in the corner or the wing. Usually if you're going into the corner and the computer goes to the corner, initially they wanted the computer to go into the corner, probably to set a down screen or something like that, like how you see MPJ doing over there on the right. Otherwise, if you're going into the corner and they were recently designated the computer goes to the corner, the computer will just motion to the wing under normal circumstances, and then they'll just run the motion offense like that. Basically, you're just switching positions, essentially. That's usually how the motion offense works. An invisible spot that they're waiting for you to stand on. It's no different than if you have a play set up and the spot is actually visible, like here, before you can actually see the play art on the actual floor. What triggers this function on this 2K Smart Play overlay, that allows this pop-up to come up. You can just simply just hit L1 instead of going through and clicking L1, hitting a button, then searching for a play. The game will just auto choose a play for you. As far as the logic, I don't know. I just recently remembered that this was a function in the game. This should make that process a little bit easier. Definitely don't want to keep dealing with this the entire way through, where everyone's just standing there and you have to just randomly find a spot. And I even tested this out whereas you don't have the ball in your hands as well, where right now, right here, I'm letting my teammate get the ball. As you can see, the pop-up came up all the same. This time it was for me to do a pick and roll. And although the play was ran unsuccessfully, it still initiated a play off of it by me simply just having L1. This is another instance here where I don't have the ball. You see me running down the court, and it's setting up another play for me. You'll just tap L1, and then now I'm over there on the left side. getting a little play here set up for me to do this. This offensive play calling, because you can see my little settings here. I have on all the things that you're supposed to have on to be able to get the things to get the auto plays to start up automatically. It just doesn't work in this game. And it does call multiple plays. Yes, this does in fact work, even if you're a big man. You can be the center or power forward, and you simply just tap L1 whenever the thing comes up. The only thing is you can't select who is it for.
Well, he's bought in and ready to go. We got Jalen Suggs. Mo Wagner is out there with MP. Then it's Desmond.
You can edit the playbook right off of it. These are the priorities for each player. You have your own. And it's important to note where more than likely you'll end up being on most of these plays when you're designing them. Now, granted, this is a tedious process designing each and every one of these plays individually. My advice there would be to simply try and load a playbook, which you'll see the option down the bottom. Try to load a playbook, and you can search for specific things. What is my build? Like, what do I do? Interior finisher on offense. It's pretty strong. I have a decent post control. I'm talking about this in terms of potential. Looking at things as far as like what makes sense for me. Right now, it looks like I'm a back to the basket type of player on offense. So I'd want to do like post control type stuff, right? And in the playbook, and I'm loading a playbook up, and I search by hitting triangle or Y if you're on Xbox. I can search by content name. I'm gonna try back to the basket. Post up center. No content found. Okay. This one says center. So maybe if I was to go in, because this one you ain't gotta scroll down the list here. If I was to go in and just type in center for the filter. So that was one of the ones I saw. This is the one I saw before. A bunch called center. Everything to do with center stuff here. There's not that many of them, weirdly enough. So I'm gonna do what most other people, what I think they would do is download the one that has the most downloads and see what that one is talking about. Okay, so they have an ISO punch red play for you to ISO at the center spot. And then another one for you right there. All right, so these two make sense, because in most cases you want this to be reflective of what you do. Now, I will say, depending how the priorities are set, even though you see the small forward getting the ball in those situations, sometimes that can actually be you isolating. There's a particular ISO play that I like to run in my original playbook that isn't even supposed to be ran for me, but if I'm running, I think if I'm running point guard, it's either I'm running point guard or small forward. The game unintentionally has me ISO when I'm not supposed to be the one isolating. I can either isolate or I can throw the ball to the dude that's coming off of a double screen coming right towards me, and usually that's pretty open if I time my pass right. And I don't even have isolation as a priority on my small forward build. So it's a pretty decent play. And that's kind of how these plays kind of function, where they have the small forward dude coming over. It's a potential chance that could be you either throwing the ball to the guy instead of playing the center role and setting the screen for the small forward coming over, or that could be you receiving the ball over there on the wing. A lot of it just comes down to just being a screener for the most part, and plays that are basically set up for you to get the easiest type of thing going on there. This play here, for sure, you would want to be the guy with the ball in your hands, because there's a potential chance for two different types of assists there. The shooting guard cutting through after he throws you the ball, he can get open, depending how the movement between him and his defender works, or the point guard that's coming off the double screen from the corner coming to the top of the key. Or you could just simply just isolate there in the post. So you have it's like an option play there. A lot of my plays kind of function that way, even on pick and rolls and things like that. I like having layers to my plays where it's not as simple as just run a pick and roll and you only have one segue. And if you get boxed, you have an option to go to if, say, they're focusing the pick and roll, but then the guy coming off the double screen is wide open. You can just simply throw the pass and should be an easy assist. Like, it makes sense in theory. I wouldn't go there. Well, I wouldn't go that route with that play because I don't like long pass. I don't trust computers with making long passes like that, where the shooting guard gets the ball and then throws it to you, the center, for you to throw to the small forward. I don't like that long pass stuff because it's not reliable. Against certain defenses, you're just asking to get a turnover. Essentially, you just go through all of these and then you just kind of perform them, see how you feel about the playbook, and then you can if you like it, you can just simply just hit square to share it, and then just hit new playbook, and then you would just type in a thing here, hit done, and then it's going to ask you one more prompt, and you say, yeah, I want to save it, and then you'll just have it here like I do my own 2 playbooks right here. It's important to save the playbooks as well, because if you plan on playing multiple seasons, like say you only plan on playing the key games or whatever, but you still plan on playing a lot of offline, if your coach for whatever reason either retires or get fired, you'll lose your playbook if you're not careful. So one day you might randomly running a different place. It's probably because your coach is different. So therefore they're running a different offense, and therefore your entire playbook changes. Also, by the end of like the 2K life cycle, where like they cut off the servers for the games and things like that, you won't be able to load any of these playbooks anymore for the year. So you want to make sure that, if you want a wider range of playbooks for multiple different scenarios, that you pick them up as the year progresses, because you never know who might be doing what. You obviously have the description of each playbook at the top if someone gave it when they uploaded theirs. So make sure to read that as well. And again, just make sure that you have on the 2K Smart Play overlay function set to on. And that can circumvent the constantly having to run the motion offense.
Outside sort of move, like where was the defense on that play?
That is a quality look. You can't do it much better than that.
Here's Dimon, following the score by Washington. Back to Reeves, launches a 3.
In hopes of better times ahead.
And he almost made them regret defending him so well. Christie finds Reeves.
Can't wait too long.
Here's Dimon. Pass to Christie. On the wing, MP. And the Nets tack on 2 more. 3. Porter pulls it in. Brooklyn leading by 3.
Another play. That's 5 different plays. It's actually working.
Here's Dimon. His last outing, we saw him score 22. Johnson against Reeves. Over Johnson.
It's not exactly
Shot by Reeves, no good. And another miss by Washington.
Well, he got the shot he loved, and the defense should honestly be relieved. He didn't punish them for being a little bit soft there in the mid-range.
Here's Dimon. And so far, he's averaging. Brooklyn pulls it in. And they've been one of the more exciting teams in the league this year, besting most of their opponents by a healthy margin.
Yeah, not many close games for them this year. When they win big.
MP, everyone's life is hard. Yours, mine's, the people in the stands. Nobody cares about your problems.
Talk about tough love.
True story, yeah. He didn't like me at first either, but he helped me whether he knew it or not.
And how'd he do that?
He snapped me out of it. Out of all my self-pity, it was just gone. I realized that I was dealing with something, but so what? And I had to ask myself, okay, I can try to overcome it, or I can give up. What kind of person do you want to be?
That actually makes sense, I'm not gonna lie.
Right. So, here we are. Nothing's gonna slow me down. I promise you that.